Akaniuliza tena, nikamuonyesha, akanitolea, akanipea. Kuweka kwa mdomo ni pilipili, nikatema hapo chini tu. Sasa msichana ananiangalia, akaenda akaleta kitu akatoa. Hii safari ikaendelea. Sasa tumbo ikaharibika. Nikaanza kujiuliza, wakati tuliingia hapa hawakusema choo iko wapi? Sasa nikaanza kujiuliza, kweli nitapata choo wapi? Nitafanyaje? Lakini nikauliza Madam Susan, akaniambia unaona pale? Ukiona imeweka red na imechora mwanaume, kuna mtu ndani. Ikiweka green na uingie. Mimi nikaenda. Sasa sijui inafunguliwa aje. Nikasimama, mtu anakuja anaingia. Mwingine anaingia. Nikasema hivi, sasa huyu akanyaga, hata kabla akanyaga niko ndani. Alipofungua tu nilikuwa ndani. Akafunga. Sasa sababu ya ile excitement, mimi hakuna kitu nilifanya. Lakini si nimekaa tu hapo. Nikusimama, sijui niligusa wapi, nikasikia pop. Nilipita na murango. Inaambia kila mtu, tafadhali ndege inaanguka, mlituleta hapa tukufe. Wananiambia Job, funga suruali kwanza. Mimi nakuja tu. Nilikalizwa chini mpaka nikapelekwa first class. Nikaambiwa, nikawekwa chini, nikakalizwa, nikaambiwa nitulie. Amjambo. Leo hii si mimi ndio huyu hapa. Kusema ukweli, Mungu wetu wa Sabato amenitoa mbali. Wale watu tuko hapa, si mnafanya kazi? Network marketing is the best industry for you. It's good to have a career. It's good to have everything. But remember, our government, it cannot pay you money. You can solve your problem. They just give you money like sport pesa. These young guys here who play sport pesa. They just give something. You think you are going to get it, but you cannot get it. I played sport pesa once. And they took my money. And I said, there is no even a single day I will praise sport pesa. I don't gamble. And I remembered, there is a pastor called Nyachienga in our country, my county. He told us, never ever gamble. And never ever pass where there is women who called prostitute. Mnakumbuka hizo vitu mkisoma kwa Biblia? He said, those two things, they will mess your life. So I remember they take my 1,000. And I remember the pastor told me when I was a young boy, I don't gamble. And I gambled. So this is a fine from God. Wacha tufanye kazi kwa bidii. Leo hii nimejenga nyumba mzuri. Silali ile nyumba. Leo hii Mungu amenifikisha mahali niko. Ningesema hivi, watu wa Mungu, tushikane mkono. Tukisaidia familia zetu. If we can do network for only 5 years, my dream is like this. The end of this year, I want to pocket 5 million per month. I don't want this thing. Tunaenda kuomba wazungu pesa wakuje kufanya crusade hapa kwetu. Tunaweza fund our evangelism. And that is my goal. I want to make money. And pastor yuko hapa. Speak is good Kizungu tani mimi daktari. Na tumepata mwingine huko jirani yetu. So we can do evangelism na pesa yetu. Na watu waokoke tuende nyumba. Si Mungu awabariki. Tunaambia wakisi namna gani? Asante sana Job. Another round of applause for Job.
Oh, wonderful and inspirational, si ndio? Sijui inspirational tutasemaje? Pastor, tena? Ya Buvia, inspirational. And hiyo maneno ya evangelism, I saw elders smiling. It's a good thing. Tuko na kama ni evangelism, tutakuwa sababu tuko na list ya missions hapa mbele. Pastor rafiki yako atakueleza. So we want to carry on and we have our last program, our last, the heart of it all. But before tufike pale, kuna wale wageni walifika. Is it too high? Ama ni mimi? Okay. Kuna wale wenzetu walifika, they came a little late, and we want to thank our hostess for bringing them in. Wajua ukiwa, for the ladies, ukiwa a shepherdess, you don't seem to grow old. Ama amkunielewa. Atuelewani, si ndio? I was saying kuna wenzetu who came a little late, and we want to thank our hostess for ushering them in and also taking good care of us. And nikasema, for the ladies, if you get married to a pastor, a man of God, a servant of the Lord in the vineyard, you don't seem to get old. You won't. See, ama nadanganya majameni. Would you know she's been married for 29 years? You wouldn't know. But she has been married for 29 years. All right. So thank you very much, Mary. We are glad to be under your care. Able to simam for 5 minutes before we welcome our leadership coach. Now we want to do something called a coconut. We have sat since 2 p.m. and would like to stretch a little. And so, right now, we have listened to money. We have listened to entrepreneurial mindset. Kisha tukasikia historia ya Wakisi. Okay? All the way from huko ndani and has been job, thank you, that was inspired to 12 countries. Mimi ile nakumbuka ni Nabugabo kitambo tukiwa wadogo pathfinders hapa Uganda na Tanzania. Wewe ile Kisii is not a country, it's a county. So you've been to counties, not countries. So right now we want to welcome our leadership coach, Kim. So we give it up for Kim as he comes. Karibu sana Kim, and remember to take down notes and questions. Okay?
Hi everyone. Hi everyone. If you can hear my voice, just do me a high five like this. Now do it to your neighbor and tell him you look lovely. Don't touch. Just tell him you look lovely. Thank you so much. I'm glad. It's an honor to be invited here. I'm so glad that you took time to invite me here to come and be with you and share with you something little that we can put together. I'm glad I have been here again. When I came, it rang in my mind I have preached in this church. And I was glad again on the same invitation. And today, maybe it's on a different note, but now the worst part is when you come after mighty speakers and you look like the one who is coming to pour the water. Have you ever gone to a campfire? Anybody who has been to a campfire? If you stay long enough in the campfire and you be the last, what's your responsibility? Put water on there? So don't mind if I put water on everything they have said, because I'm the last one on the campfire. But it's a nice thing that I'm looking forward to. Now let me do this. Allow me, Pastor, with all your permission, allow me, the speaker who has been here, Roger, thank you so much. I thank God for technology, because even when I was a little bit delayed, I was still following. Somebody was gracious enough to share for me a link and went live, and I was still following. Is that a good thing about technology? Let's appreciate technology. Sometimes I get excited at things which we can do, but we don't do. Sometimes we have so much that we can actually explore, but we have not explored. Allow me ask, what time am I supposed to finish? Oh, that's dangerous. Okay, we'll do it at the least of time, before curfew. Now I have permission to finish before curfew. That's 9:59. Is that allowed? Then that's a good one. Now let me ask this question. While you are here, I will take 5 minutes. Anything that struck you and prompted you to think. Anything that struck you and prompted you to think. Now, I will take randomly. So please pick up your hand if you want to be a volunteer. If you don't, I will pick randomly. So which one do you prefer? You will lift up your hands? Anybody who was touched? Let me start with the volunteers. If you don't, then I'll come to you. Yes, there's one behind there in a white t-shirt, SDA t-shirt, written Kusda. Never pursue money directly. Pursue what? Purpose. And with it comes what? Provision. Is that a powerful one? Question. Who has been here and wants to make a confession today that they have been chasing money? Anybody who has been chasing money? No, I just want to see an honest. Anybody who has been chasing money, lift up your hands. Pastor, we need to pray for these people. It is true that many a times we chase what? Money, not knowing how to do it. Now, that's nice. I'm going to be picking up from there. Yes, somebody else. I'll give how many pieces? 5. I love 5. So I'll do 5. We've done 1, so we have 4 more to go. Now let me hear somebody else volunteer. Anything that touched you and prompted you to think. Yes, sir. Be loud a bit. Yes. He was touched by Job's story, giving back the tithe, even when his bonus was 170 shillings. How much is the tithe? Is it significant? Is it significant? To our eyes, is it relevant and significant? I like the comment he said after that the treasurer thought the cost of the envelope was more than the cost of what was inside. But let me tell you, that is not true. He was cultivating a character, not the amount. What many of us are lacking is not the money to give, it is the character to do what? To give. I love that. I'm trying to just amplify what you said. Lovely. Thank you so much. Please keep it to yourself. 3 more to go. 3. 1. Daisy, yes. You would do well if you push down the mask a bit, yes. She's going to work on her inner what? Who is the pilot, the inner one or the outer one? The inner one. And that is a very lovely one. I will touch a bit on that one. I think I'm seeing some things. Now all of you, all of a sudden want to say something. This is the interesting part about Kenyans. They come the last minute. We are supposed to be filing tax returns. When will Kenyans go? On 30th of June. When you know there are remaining 2, now all of you want to speak. Now, lift up your hand and I'll choose randomly. Now, you lift it up first or say something. And are there, yes, I'll take one more lady just out of generosity. Mm-hmm. If a bird feels that it cannot fly, then it won't fly. That's true. So you cannot go for outward success when you have an inward defeat. And that's true. I love a statement. Can I add on to what you have said? Everybody is born a genius. But never judge the ability of the fish to climb a tree or to fly, because it will forever be fish. It can only prosper, but take the bird to the swimming pool. Can it swim? It can't. That means you are a genius in your own line. Job, with or without English, with or without papers, is he successful? Yes, he is. It is not where, it is who you are that succeeds. So that's a very lovely one. Now, one more, just one more. Yes, now I said a lady, that's why you won this. Wow. If you want the money, what are the steps? Number 1, think like it. Okay, number 2, visualize it. And number 3, smell it. Number 4, is there act on it? Yes, it must be there. Tony Robbins, a lovely writer, says this: if you can't see it here, you can never see it here. So where do you see it first? Here. If you can't see it here, you will never see it here. So learn to see it from the inside coming outside. And that's a lovely one. All of a sudden, everybody wants to speak. Do we add 2 more? I feel generous. Now, 2 more. One from behind, the gentleman, and one from the front, and that's we are done. Yes, so we start with you. Cheese. Uh-huh. Cheese moves. Okay. A Christian must make so much money that he can be able to also do what? as much money as he can as well give away. That is very true. There's a guy that I love. He's called Carnegie. You know Carnegie? He's the one who started the American Steel Factory. And this is what he said. He spent half of his life accumulating wealth and the rest half giving it away. Why? Because it is not important how much you keep to yourself. It's more important how much you give out. Is that a good thing to keep by? So please pick those things. If you missed them, if you never saw them in that light, then we can do the last one and then we go to our little presentation. Yes. We don't believe in who? In ourselves. Many a times you are your worst enemy. You are your worst enemy. Allow me to say, it has been a blessed day. Anybody agrees with me? Has it been a blessing to you? It was time worth spending. And so this is what I want to do. I want to finish by doing four very little things. I'll use to the power of 4. And the reason is I want to just tap into what Pastor Kigundu has talked about, Dr. Rogers has talked about, and Job has highlighted in his testimony. And this is where I just want to bring it up almost to a wrap. And I want you to hold your head with your 2 hands. Hold your hand with your 2 hands. And speak to yourself. Now speak to yourself. Now say whatever you want to say. I didn't say you speak in tongues. Now let me direct you so that you know how to speak. Whose head are you holding? Whose head are you holding? Now tell yourself this. This is how I think. This is how I think. Trust you me, there is nothing else left in life other than what is inside there. This is how I think. Say that the last time. Drop your hands. Now hold your heart. Tell yourself, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. This is where I get my energy from. This is where everything originates from. Now hold your hand on one hand. Hold your hand and tell yourself, this is how I do. This is how I do. Can I do the last one, number 4? Now put a hand over your mouth and say, this is how I speak. How could you speak when you had put your hand over your mouth? I said, put your hand over your mouth and say, this is how I speak. Did you realize the biggest problem starts from the inverse coming in the other way around? The one person says like this, when you speak, the world knows what you know. But when you keep mouth shut and listen to wisdom like what you're about to listen and what you have listened today, inside of your mind gets something that can change your life. Many of us, instead of listening more, we speak more. But somehow, we can be able to turn it around. So I want to begin with the first one. This is how I think. Now, many a times, you are a direct product of the thoughts that you have harbored. The thoughts that cross your mind make you who you are. That means, if I keep thinking about going to steal, I have already started stealing in my mind. Can I act like a Christian? When does God judge me? When I think of stealing or when I actually steal? When I do what? Let me be a little bit contradicting. Matthew 5 verse 27 says this, if a man looks at a woman lustfully, God counts it upon him that he has already committed what? Question. Did he really do the act? What happened? He thought it in his mind. That tells you the mind is as equally powerful as your hand is when it does. Your strength is not more on the hand as it is on your head. If you put your head on the gear, the hands implement the action. But the action was already done in your head. Now, question. Many of us have always asked ourselves, why am I poor? The reason is you have never engaged your mind much more than that. Many of us have engaged the mind, and the mind can be engaged in either sphere, negative or positive. It doesn't really matter what you put the mind to. The mind will conceive it. If you conceive to be a millionaire, the mind will actually actualize it. If you conceive to remain poor, the mind will actually give you the same. Somebody goes ahead and tries to say something and says the mind could be compartmentalized. There's one we call the subconscious mind and the other one we call the conscious mind. The conscious mind determines the actions that we do. The subconscious mind is almost the autopilot of the body. In that, there has been character that has been emblemed. That is where it sits. That is how it is able to manifest on the things that you do. Now let me get something interesting. The mind, I compare it to a plantation, where in that plantation, you give people the right and the lease to plant whatever they want to plant. Now question, if you hang around negative people, what will they plant on your mind? Negativity. If you hang around millionaires, what do you think they will plant on your mind? Millions. Many people think that their mind is as plain as it looks, but it is only as plain as you have allowed people to plant in their farm. And many of us have results that we don't like, but we allowed the plantation to grow. If you go to a plantation and find weeds growing, it is your responsibility to pluck out the weeds and leave the trees standing. If you keep the weeds and the tares together, the weeds and the wheat together, the chances are your mind gets mumbled up and juggled up. So you need to have a specific way of rooting out that which you do not want and blocking that which you do not need to come in. You are an average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. If you spend your time along 5 people who are positive, you become positive. If you spend 5 people with whom they are negative, that is how you become. This is how I feel. I don't want to dwell so much on that. I want to come to the closer part of it because I want to use the little time. The feelings that you harbor come from the inner part. I was listening to one guy, he's called Robin Sharma, a fantastic person you should listen to. Robin Sharma says, inside of every human being, there are 4 kingdoms. Number 1 is the kingdom of your mindset. Number 2 is the kingdom of your heart set. Number 3 is the kingdom of your soul set. He also talks about your physical set and that your spiritual set as well. Many of them respond to how your heart goes. Now I want you to paraphrase these words for me. I love you from the bottom of my heart. What does it mean? I love you from the bottom of my heart. Have you ever found yourself say those words? Yes. What did you mean? You love me? Deeply. Wholly. Anything else? In your heart sits the emotions of every human being. We do not consider heart as the pump. I know there's a whole analysis that we can do and prove. If I went to the Bible and said every time the Bible talks about heart, it talks about your mind, and you can easily intermingle the two. But I use the heart figuratively to simply mean where your emotions and your feelings sit. That becomes the driving force that takes you somewhere. Now let me go back to Job. Job had a mother. How many skirts did the mother have? I'm doing an interview. How many skirts? 1. Every time Job went there, what feelings came inside his heart? What are the feelings? Do you think he was satisfied? So it is not a satisfaction feeling. What feelings came out of him? A sadness. A sadness that actually reached to the depth that it became so deep that he prompted him to act and do something. Many of us have not gone to have not gotten to that point where our feelings are so hurt until we want to succeed so much. Many of us are used to mediocrity. We have accepted average. We celebrate it even. And let me give you another one. The poor always love the company of each other. Let me give this story. If I take somebody from Kibera is our slum, and I take him to Karen, will he fit in? He may try. But can he really fit in? No. He won't find the luxuries of poverty that he enjoyed there. Now, let's do the reverse. Pick somebody from Karen and drop him right in Kibera. Tell him to survive. Will he survive? Why? He has a different mindset. He has a different heart set. He knows how to feel things differently. Meaning this, inside your heart, there must be a why that drives you. I've heard somebody say here that you have enough missions. Those missions must drive you to the extent that you want to look for money so bad that you fund them yourself. You must want to say that in our compound, no car ever drove in. I am going to change the things by myself. Number 3, I talked about your hand. Many of us think about life as just doing. And doing is good. But what you do can determine what results you get. I know of some people who have not only not worked hard, but some have worked smart. And there's a difference. A foreman walks into a construction site. They are busy laying bricks upon bricks, and the fundi is sweating profusely. He has removed his jacket. He has removed his t-shirt because he's sweating. The foreman comes in a coat like I am dressed and comes and stands by there with a plumb line and puts it on that wall and says, it is bent. Demolish and build again. Who is working hard? Who is working hard? The fundi is working hard. What is the difference between the fundi and the foreman? The foreman could have invested a little bit of time and have gone to school, and now he's working smart. So he's only coming and he does the list of work. But who gets paid most? Who gets paid most? The one who works hard or the one who works smart? It means there must be something in life, and I want to call it leverage, that we have to use if we are to move from one side of the equation to the other side of the equation. A book called The Law of Average. I want to recommend it to everyone who is here, written by Rani Panaligan. The Law of Leverage. The Law of Leverage is a book that will help you. Actually, I like the foreword of that book. The foreword of that book says that there are two people who have done interesting forewords in that book. One says, some books are to be tasted. Others are to be chewed. But others are to be swallowed, no matter how bitter they are. And that is one book you need to swallow bitterly as it is. The other foreword says like this: this book might cost you sleepless nights, and trust me, it will. Because in it lies the secret of why there is a percentage of us who are rich and others who are poor. And there's a very simple secret. Can I give you the secret? I've tried reading that book. I've not finished it yet. I have read it and I've come back. I've read it and I've come back. And he says, the law of leverage is the law that has turned people who are poor into rich. Now, this is what they say, that 3% of the world population control 97% of the world resources. Would that be true? Yes. And the reverse is also true. 97% of the population struggle and fight for the 3% of the resources. What is the difference? If you go right now to a golf course, yesterday afternoon I had a chance of going to one, and it's somewhere in Kiambu, and they call it Mega. Mega Golf Course is a newly coming up golf course. And in there, I found somebody who had even taken me there. They have a bigger vision than what it looks like. And he told me the story of this man who I had actually taken there. 3 years ago, this Mega was all over media. It was on Classic FM every single morning for 3 solid months. They paid for it. The partners tried to woo people with price discounts. Nobody listened. I liked something that Roger said about opportunity. Did you hear anything about opportunity? Many of us have to learn to grab opportunities when they appear in our face. And this man says he didn't have anything else other than old lorry that he had. And he told himself, when they were taken for the first tour, it was all bushy. But somehow, the paper that they were shown was all rich with how a golf course shall look like and how your house shall be overlooking the golf course. And behind you, there's a dam. And nobody perceived it. He bought that land for 1.5 million Kenya shillings. 1.5 million Kenya shillings. Yesterday, he was willing to sell that same piece for 12 million. What has changed? Right now, people are hitting golf in that same place. But what was it first? It was a bush. That means most of us must have eyes that see beyond what eyes see. That is why Rogers was not very far away from it. If you don't perceive it in your head, you will never see it in your face. What your hand does is driven by what your heart feels, is driven by the things that you harbor in your head. The thoughts of a man can turn around. I want to speak lastly about the law of leverage. The law of leverage is what is responsible for most of the rich people that we have today. Would you want to be rich also? Would you want to get money as well? You have to apply the law of leverage. The law of leverage says is that I am able to use other people's time, money, minds, resources, efforts, and even the way they feel. Can I be able to use all your minds in this room? Can I be able to do that? Would you give me permission to do that? Somehow it is very hard. Some of you would say it is impossible, but I'll tell you it is possible. That the rich of this world have to be driven by something that prompts them to use that law accurately. And this is how they do. Number one, they employ so many people to work for them. And this is how he says, the rich and the millionaires know how to tap it correctly. They wait for you to go to school. How many years? 12 years, 16 years. Invest in that education. To get a PhD, how many years do you put in? Now I have a professor here. How many years have you put in? You can't count. Now, Dr. Kigundo, how many years can we average put them in? Forever. But let's give it a number. How many years does a doctor need to do to become a doctor? 6 plus, 9 plus, 12 plus if you're specialized. That means they wait for you to invest that time and plant it in your head. Then they hire you for their benefits. Then you are busy working for them, using all the drains and the resources in your head, up to and including every minute you got, to their advantage. And that leverage makes them a millionaire and makes you a dependent on salary all your life. And you keep chasing after time. And this is what happens. You wake up in Nairobi. I was going to SGR the other day. It is 5:30 in the morning. On Thika Road, there was jam. And I asked myself, where are all these Kenyans going to? Somebody somewhere is in Modaiga Golf Club, hitting golf, leveraging on your time. Somebody somewhere is busy snoring, leveraging on your time. You invest all your brains and put them in, and it gets all the benefit. Life can never be more fair. Because you have the similar advantage of leveraging the same, but you don't use it. So for those who use it, no wonder the equation is right. 3% of all world's resources controlled by 3%, while 97 struggle for 3%. That is how true it is. Now let me go the other way around. Well, some of us say that I can leverage using the money of other people. And this is how I was doing a small demonstration somewhere, and I was told somebody, I want to buy a house of 3 million Kenya shillings. How do I invest the 3 million? I tell myself I don't have the money. So if you are a bright Kenyan, you will say, I will go to the bank and borrow the money. Ideally, that is leverage by itself. But the bank does not require you to come and borrow the 3 million. So they say you must put up a deposit at 10%. Let's call it 600,000. And one young man, actually I'm giving a true model that has happened. And this young man looks at it and says, I don't have 300,000. He goes to the uncle and goes to the father and goes to everybody, borrows and only has 200,000. He goes to everybody else and says, I have only 200,000. The bank tells him, we need how much? 600. And he says, then I'll get it. Determination inside of his heart to control this property worth 3 million goes to everybody else and doesn't find. Then he goes and finds two people who are suitors. And he tells them, I want you to invest 200,000 into this. And I want you to invest 200,000 into this. And then I give you 25% of the value of the property. What is that man using? Leverage. Leverage. He doesn't have the money in his pocket, but he knows in your pocket there is money. How can I get that money out of your pocket to my advantage and our advantage? That's all that makes people rich in this world. And that man goes now to the bank with how much money? 600,000. And the bank gives him 2.4 million to finance the property. He acquires the property worth 3 million and gives away how much percentage? It means in every leverage, there must be a sacrifice you're willing to give. And many people don't understand the game. But there is also another kind of leverage, and this is the best of all. Did you realize how many friends you have? How many people do you have as contacts on your phone, for example? 397. That's a lovely one. How many? 1,150. That guy's rich. Now, who else? Give me one number there. How many people do you have? The guy behind Roger Duncan. 190. Only. Yeah, should be more than that. Now, give me somebody else. Anybody who has over 2,000? Show me. Anybody who has over 3,000? Anybody who has over 5,000? Did you read on Facebook? Okay, let me ask on Facebook. Anybody who has over 5,000 friends on Facebook and you have been blocked and you are rich then? Did you realize how many people you have following you? What do you do with all that network of persons at your disposal? The rich know how to leverage and use everybody's networks to their advantage. Now, leverage is all I'm going to talk about. For you to leverage in your mind, the rich employ people who are smarter than them. The rich employ people who are smarter than who? Than them. Unfortunately, let me give you the real situation in our situation. We relate with people who are lower than us in our thinking. True or false? And anybody who is above you threatens you. You have never known how to use the law of leverage. The law of leverage means you must be comfortable to allow brains that are higher than you to challenge your little brain. Actually, this is what it simply means. If you have 5 people in your circle, be the least in that circle. Then you are out to grow. Because you can use their mind for your advantage. Number 2, if your heart set is weak and your feelings are fed, that is why even in marriage counseling, pastor does a lot of that. And there are 2 families, a family and 2 people in a family, and these 2 people have different strength. You can actually leverage on the feelings of each other. The husband knows that when my wife, or the wife knows that when my husband gets annoyed, he gets fired. It is the responsibility of the wife to keep the husband in check. They use the law of leverage. You must learn to use other people's resources to your advantage. Now let me make this talk home. Every labor that you put on your hand, you must be able to ask yourself, can I leverage my efforts? Jim Rohn, a fantastic motivator, says this: I would rather earn 1 shilling from the efforts of 100 people than earn 100 shillings from my own efforts. Is that statement true? Is that statement true? I would rather earn 1 shilling from how many people? How many people? 100. Than earn 100 shillings from my own what? Efforts. That is what is happening to most of us. Now, when we are not on that side of leverage, where we have been employed and we are giving our money, our resources, our energy to somebody else, we are on the flip side of it. And the Mzungu came up with a very nice word. He said, sole proprietorship. And they told you, if you want to make a side hustle, open a kiosk. The kiosk works well. But for how long will the kiosk work well? When COVID says, let everybody stay at home, then they do not work. And somehow you have been shifted from your thinking. That means if you leverage on your own self, you never make it in life. Now let me make hard statements. Nobody ever became a millionaire by leveraging on their own efforts. Nobody ever became a millionaire by leveraging on their own efforts. You must be able to learn the law of leverage, to leverage on other people's resources, other people's brains, other people's time, other people's energy. Now can I give you a simple example? Take off your phones. Go to calculator. For you to become anything successful in life, they say this, you must be able to invest 10,000 to 30,000 hours for you to become good at whatever you do. Now question, what is that you do? I don't know what trade you do. But if you are to become good, you must invest 10,000 to 30,000 hours of hard labor. Now let's use 30,000 as extreme. How long do I work a day? Let's give crazy time. We have 24 hours, everybody, isn't it? How many hours would you put into the labor? 9. 9 is a very reserved guy. This is a guy who goes and stays in the jam. What else? Can you even be more generous? Be more generous. Give me some more time. How much time can you invest when, especially it is yours? 15 hours in a day. That means you're working from what time, roughly? 4 in the morning, 11 in the night. I doubt you would hardly do that. But let's give it that way. 15 hours. He puts out of the 24, puts in how many hours? 15. Now the 30, get out, divide by 15 to tell me how many days you would need to become good at whatever you do. 2,000 days. So that is 30. Now 2,000 days. We know that every month has 30 days. That means every year has 365. How many years do you need? Divide by 365. Let me get how long you need. How long? 5 years. So is it true what they say that for you to become anything good, you must invest at least how many years? 5 years for you to become good. Now you have not started working. You have just become good. Now you can be able to propel it. Now let me flip the coin of it. I want to use the law of leverage. I want to take myself and put myself in a network of people. I take 5 people with me and I make those 5 people work with me. How long do I need to get the same results? Now let me even use the law of leverage nicely and tell everybody else, I want those 5 people, each of them to give me 5 people. How many people do I have? How many people do I have? 5 people. Each person gives me 5 people. How many people do I have? 25 plus yourself? 26. How long do I need to get to the same results? Divide. To see whether you know the equation. Huh? 6 months. I doubt. 3 months. Yes. So actually, I can become so good in 90 days to do what you can do alone in 5 years. There's nothing as powerful as the power of a network. Job, the one who is standing there, how many people do you have in your network right now? 5,000 people. In his what? Network. One person says crazy things like this. You must be able to make enough money while you are sleeping than you can spend while you are awake. Is it true? Does Job do that? Actually, he does. The other day, I meet somebody who is affiliated to Job. He's called Albert. And the guy introduces me to this concept. He tells me, you know what? We can actually do network marketing together. And I asked him, so what is it about network marketing? He told me nothing big. It's simply going out there, making a difference and changing things around for people while you also change yours. Now let me give you a few tenements about networking. Number 1, networking is the norm of life. Everybody is out there networking. It's only that they don't consciously know it. Was Jesus Christ a networker? Was Jesus Christ a networker? How did he network? He recruited how many? 12. Then 72. Then one person out of the 72 goes out and brings 3,000 in one day. And the others go to the other city and bring others. And trust you me, you seated here, you are a product of one of those. If you are traced back, you would find your root there. Can I give you the end also? If and when we get to heaven, if and when we get to where? Heaven, there will be how many gates? How many gates? 12. And which one will you get in through? That is the day you will understand the reverse of your network. Your network started with Jesus, came all the way. It is where you are. You still propagate it. We finish the line. We go back through the same gates. Well, that is how powerful networking is. Networking is the order of life. When Safaricom opens, they are looking at how many subscribers they can bring on board. When Equity Bank is opening, there are many deposits they can bring on board. When you are opening your business, you are looking at how many customers you can mobilize. Trust me, networking is the business. Can I tell you a simple principles of network marketing? 4 steps. Number 1. Step number 1. You must be willing to take responsibility. Responsibility. Now, responsibility is like this. You must realize that there is a need in the world and something in the world that you can do to change things around. Now, whatever that thing is, I'll tell you something which worked for Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. They realized that this world was too much in the Stone Age. this world needed a computer. What Steve Jobs and Bill Gates did, they started creating something. Did Rogers speak about creativity in your mind? Now they became creative and they said, let's create something that can solve this problem. And when they started creating that problem, they realized they cannot do it alone. That is why that foundation, up to today, 2019, the statistics I saw, that company has employed 397,000 people in that business of generating computers. That is why you have the latest version today. Because he started alone by taking responsibility that this world needs to change. And when you take that responsibility yourself, now you start propelling everything towards that direction. Number two, you must be crazy enough to fulfill it. Crazy enough to fulfill it. I love this story of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein realized that this world was too dark. He needed to light up the world. If you read the biography of Albert Einstein, he went and asked for the mayor permission to light up one street. Everybody said permission granted because they knew that was a mission impossible. You must be willing to do some things even when people think you are crazy. Nobody would understand why you are so passionate about changing things the way they are. People are comfortable in the way they are. They say it is easier for 9 people to die than to change. That means you must be willing to be crazy enough to do something. That means you must engage your heart set, engage your mindset, engage your hands and do something for it. Now let me go finally to the other bit. You must be willing to sacrifice something. The first one was what? Take responsibility. Number 2, be crazy enough to do it. Number 3, take a sacrifice. If you do that, sacrifice means you must sacrifice some of your time putting your best foot forward. You must sacrifice some of your ideas into that. You must sacrifice some of your resources into it to make it better. Number 4 is the easiest. It's what I've been talking about. Leverage on networks. Leverage on what? Networks. If you leverage on networks, you never go wrong. They meet this guy who was the president of America the other day. Who was the richest, the American president the other day? Donald Trump. And they asked Donald Trump, just in case you find yourself broke again, what would you do? Donald Trump says, I would find a network that works. I would plug myself inside and I would work my way back to riches. And he says, how would you do that? Because when I am in a network, I am able to leverage on using other people's resources. And this is how resources work for me. I joined this company 1 year ago. Now I have networks in Congo. I have found 2 people now in Australia. I have found others now in Tanzania. And we are developing others with some other people here. And you realize you can have networks all over. While I am sleeping, somebody is working on the other end. That is the power. You can be able to leverage on using their time, their resources willingly without having to coerce them. Now, what is this company involved in? I'll give you 4 things. Number 1, BF Suma is a company that is called Bright Future Superior Unique Manufacturers of America. This company manufactures nutritional supplements. Why do we need nutritional supplements? Because we have been compromised to where we are. We have been compromised in the way that we eat. We have been compromised to the level that now we are taking in everything else. Now let me give you the sad fact. Nobody in the 21st century is in charge of the food that they eat. In 1986, let me give this brief history. The world at large realized that we are in deficit of food. They passed a law and allowed some foods called GMO. What does it mean? Genetically modified foods. Over time, in 1994, the first one was produced, and luckily it was a tomato. And how many of you use tomatoes? Most of it started becoming much of that.
Now, when they started making these tomatoes, they moved on to the other plants and other crops. And the reason was the food basket was going low. And they realized if we don't genetically modify something, then we are going to get to a place where we are hungry. Who knows that in 1984, this country was in hunger? We received some funny maize. What color was it? Yellow. And we were being given help to feed ourselves. Does it mean this country cannot produce food? It can. But somehow, if you are like me and you drive along the many highways where we used to have coffee plantations and plantations of maize, it is nowadays replaced by concrete. And soon, as urbanization and modernization is getting to us, we are getting deeper into it. That means everybody who lives in those concrete walls depends on food that has been generated where they do not know. Now let me give you the two sad stories. One, my friend in Nakuru, I come from Nakuru, goes and buys bananas in Meru, comes with them to Nakuru and realizes he needs money. And that is all that everybody is chasing. I like what Roger says. Don't pursue money. Pursue what? Purpose. And when you get the purpose, the provision will follow. This man comes with the bananas, and his mission is to sell these bananas to make what? Money. He realizes if you wait for bananas to ripen, how long will they take? 7 days or even more. And so he throws them in one drum, takes a certain chemical, puts them inside, pours water and fills that drum to fill. Goes home overnight, comes back tomorrow morning, removes the banana strands, and all of them are what color? Yellow. Are they ripe or are they not ripe? If you go to the market, would you tell the difference? You would. Trust you me, that man sells those bananas that whole day. Happy. In the evening, takes another lorry, goes to Meru to bring others for the next day. He is only concerned about the money. Now let's play the game to your side. Innocent as you are, you have been taught right that it is good to eat a banana a day to keep the doctor away. And while you are buying that banana, you not only buy the banana, but banana plus the chemical that is inside. Mercy unto you. That is why the generation that we are living in has cancers that we cannot explain. Up to now, I have found out 105 types of cancer. And they're still increasing. The reason is nobody cares about you. And I wish you knew this earlier, because somebody somewhere can make a difference. What can we do to make things better? I go to a friend of mine, Kahawa West here. What do you call this one? Professor Steve. Kahawa Sukar. And this man is a friend of mine. He has chicken. He has bred nice chicken. And I go to his place, find the chicken already that day harvested, and put in drums. And I tell him, if this is my lucky day, I have come for the chicken. Give me how many? 2. The man says, not these ones. And he says, these ones I will not give you. Calls his son and sends him to a neighbor, tells him, goes to so-and-so house, bring me 2 chicken. They bring me those 2 chicken and slaughter for me, and I carry them away. But I ask myself a question, and I ask it loud. Why did you not give me this one when they are all full and all ready? He gave me the sad story. He told me, from the day this chicken landed here, day 1, up to now, it is 14 days. But they're ready. They have gone through a process of engineering them. They take chemicals and put on them. They put light on. They never know day or night. They feed morning to evening. Drink water that has been added to the steroids so that they can boost their growth. And by the time they are 14 days, they are 1.2 kilos ready for them. Tell me, when you are in my house, you cannot eat this. Just in case you meet with them out there, I will not be responsible. Anybody who has been responsible for the chicken which goes around like this, somersaulting? And every time you look at it, it looks what color? Golden brown. It's pouring some nice juices. What does it make you feel? Like wanting to take it. And immediately you take it. Woe unto you, because that chicken is just 14 days old. All the steroids in that chicken get transferred to who? Yourself. Now, do you understand why you have some ways that you don't know how you can do? Do you understand why some bodies sometimes react the way they do? In the 21st century, very few of us will be in charge of the food that we eat, especially if we eat other. That tells you something. A tomato in the market will look like a tomato, but it could be genetic. I kept asking myself the question, why do I go buying apples? And when you buy apples, they have a sticker on them. I did not know that even in other countries, that sticker not only has the name of the apple, but should also be a sign to show whether it is genetically modified. But in this country, anybody cares to know whether it has a sticker or not? That means we are compromised. What we are eating has been interfered with. Now let's go home and try to farm natively. We spray fertilizers, we spray herbicides, we spray pesticides, we spray everything else. And eventually we finish and harvest maize. Anybody has seen maize harvested? Now let's take the maize to the store. And the maize is inside your store. And a rat comes inside the store. What will the rat eat? What will the rat eat? Utakula nini kwa hiyo mahindi? What will the rat eat in the maize? The what? The heart of the maize germ itself. And you will find all your maize poked. They remove the heart, they eat that one, and then they go to the next maize and remove that one and eat. Then we who are humanly wise, take that same maize to Isiaki and say, you know, I don't like number 2. It is too rough. Remove the outer shell and siaga ile andani. Unga number 1. And then you take that one which they have removed the shell and give it to what? The chicken. Other people mix it in the feed and they give it to the animals. So basically I ask myself, between the rat, the chicken, and the man, who is wise? Who is wise? The rat. The rat knows which part of maize to eat. The human knows which part tastes better. And many of us, driven by taste, we eat foods that are not supposed to be eaten. I give a perfect demonstration right here. It is breakfast time and I have 2 things to offer you. Are you willing to take them? I have ndoma on one hand and I have sausage on the other hand. Anybody who is for ndoma, say aye. Anybody who is for the sausage, say aye. I know you wouldn't say no. But let's meet in the dining hall and you realize what you take. It is easier to take the sausage than to take the what? The ndoma. It is easier to eat that which has no benefit to us than eat that which benefits us. And slowly, we are getting into the pit of it. I give you the outcome of it. We have found ourselves in lifestyle conditions. High blood pressure. You go to hospital, they give you medicine. They never tell you how long you have to take the medicine until the day you die. They are not curing you. Instead, they are managing you. You go there and tell them you have insulin. Did you know that in 1996, the first genetically modified thing they were actually looking for was insulin? That is the first one they generated so that they can be able to keep up with the lifestyle disease of diabetes. Most of the insulin that you inject yourself is genetically modified. Why? Because our lifestyle conditions now have kicked in. Can I talk to the men like I'm one of them? Every man has something small called a prostate gland just below his shaft. And if that small gland starts enlarging. And many people say it is for the old. Unfortunately, it is not. Things have changed. By the lifestyle that we have lived, now we have a 24-year-old and a 26-year-old diagnosed with prostate. Was it usual? It's not. Is it supposed to be that way? It is not. And now you find the people who go to the toilet, stand on the bowl, but nothing is coming out. They have to stand there for a few minutes and push a lot of air for that something to come. already signs. The body screaming out that your prostate is enlarged. Nobody takes heed. Nobody listens. Eventually, now your body reaches a point and you cannot pass urine. And they bring a bag and they put a catheter on you. And now you're carrying a bag with it. How much dignity is in that? These are conditions that we could have avoided. Now let me say this finally. If we can change some of those things, we can change them by getting into an industry that is called wellness. Now, why did I get into wellness? I'll give you my reasons. Number one, I purposed to change the lifestyle of any other people. I looked at the way many people are, and this is what prompted me to say, I will take responsibility over the men who are dying out of it. I will take responsibility over the men who are now taking the blue pill and have replaced themselves to be dependent on it. I will be responsible to change the world out of it. And by doing that, I cannot do it alone. When I took that responsibility, step number 2 was what? Let me see whether you're following me. After you take responsibility, you'll be crazy about it. Trust you me, I use my mouth differently. While you use your mouth to talk about things which don't matter, I go out speaking about these things which affect us. I go out telling everybody on the streets and everywhere. If you find me going around the whole country, I have gone around almost the whole country. While Job has gone to 12 countries, I have gone to 12 counties. Telling everyone that we need to take responsibility of our health. That hospital, you have a hospital here in KU, will never shift from where it is. But you are the one who goes to the hospital. Wellness is the opposite of it. Instead of you going there, it's you taking charge over your health where you are. Every day knowing how you eat, what you eat. Does it benefit my body? Now this company comes in with fantastic products. What is the difference? They make all their products natural. Number 2, organic. Number 3, herbal. In a way that they are able to help your body get those minerals which it has been missing, and then now you can be able to replace them and have a better life. Why can we not eat food? Because we realize food is a little bit compromised. Food we are not in control of, but now we can be in control of our health. So I have taken the responsibility. I have gone crazy about it. And number 3, I'm willing to sacrifice my time, my energy, and my everything. But let me give you the secret of it. I will not be able to do it alone. Me and Job can only do so much. So we have decided to use the law of leverage. The law of leverage says we will recruit more people into the mission of changing other people's lives. And that is all that BF Suma does. So that we can be able to take the product and give to many people. Do we have testimonials? Yes, we do. Of people who have tried and these things have worked for them. Can I give you one? Myself, standing here. I realized at one point I was 117 kilos. Anybody who is like me, say I. I knew there would be nobody because looking at your sizes, you are too little. But 117 kilos, I did not realize I was not only carrying a mass, but I was also carrying conditions. Some of them kicked in. Number 1, my joints could not carry me. That's why when I go up the stairs, I pant too much. When I try walking along, I try doing some little jogging, I can't because my joints are paining. I realized I have a good excuse, and I would have made an excuse for it. Number 2, high blood pressure kicks in, and I'm already high blood pressure while I am at my lean of age. I go to my cardiologist, he looks at me in the eye and tells me, you know you are too young to receive this medicine, because when you start them now, you will never stop until you get to the end of the road. I tell myself it is as serious as it looks. I have to change the way I do it. So me a few recommendations. If you would shed off your weight, it would work for you. I shed off my weight. I tried. I went to the gym. I tried skipping meals, but nothing worked. I come to this company last year, find someone who tells me there are nutritional supplements that you can take that cultivate a nice culture of nutrition in your body. I use them. For 4 months, I am 94 kilos. Does it work or does it not work? It works. If you ask me, from my point, it works. I have enough testimonials of people who have used it and it works for them. Others who are on catheter and now they no longer use the catheter because it works. The issue is this: take responsibility over your health. Take responsibility over other people's wealth. The rich of the 21st century know that the only way to make leverage and use leverage by employing other people to work together with me so that we can be able to spread this gospel. That is the law of network marketing. Network marketing is founded on that principle, where we are able to turn a problem into solution and do that so many of us that the solution becomes universal. That changes everything. How can I say that? Few words. You want to get rich. You will not get rich by how well you are able to do it yourself. I'm trying to avoid this light. It is directly on my face. Can I move a bit to the side? I hope my cameraman is not interfered with. How can you become rich in the 21st century? You will come rich in the 21st century the day you learn to use this mind and use it correctly. Use it to know that you can leverage and use even other higher minds than yourself. So that tells you, never allow anybody to plant seeds of distrust here. If somebody comes to me with negative talk, I tell them I'm not subscribed to that. I'm subscribed to believe that I can. I'm subscribed to know that inside my mind, what goes inside there makes me who I am. Proverbs says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Now let's play it backwards. What you are is a direct proportion of the results of the thoughts that you think. Are you without money? It is a direct result of the thoughts that you think. Are you without health? It is a direct result of whatever you think. Can you change it? Yes, you can. Every one of us can change. Use leverage on your head. Leverage with other brains. Invite people like this to speak here. They help you change the way you think. That interferes with your mind. Take good books. I just recommended one. What is the name of the book? The Law of what? Leverage. Find that book. Even if you can't find it, go to YouTube, download it. It's free there. You can read it. You can listen to it. And it will change the way you are, the way you think. Number two, this is how I feel. Feeling is the feelings that drive you. Many of us have no vision in life, have no dreams in life. That's why we have nothing pushing us. The day you put in something there and it becomes so real that it can actually wake you up in the morning, then you will work for it. But when you have nothing to go for, every day you will watch as the sun goes and sets. But I have purposed in myself. Job is here. He says that by the end of the year, he wants to have how many? How much money? 5 million every month. I'm actually on my way. I'm in my first year. I have been given a car by this company. Right? I came with a car knowing that I came in January 2020 into this company walking like everybody else. But I told myself, I will use the law of leverage. I recruited so many people. I have 967 people below me in my network. Where did I get them? I only used 5. I got 5, whom I told, go get me other 5. I got those 25. I told them, let's all go and get 5. We got 75 and we said to ourselves, all of us, let's go get 5. And the network cannot stop. You must be able to reach a point where you can leverage on everybody else. I'll give you a good demonstration. In April this year, I find myself locked down in Nakuru. I'm in COVID time. I find myself together with someone, and this person had COVID. I'm told you are grounded. I'm taken to a place. Most people never knew the story, but I was in isolation for the 14 days. Nothing feels as bad as it is. The freedom that I enjoyed was no longer there, but I was grounded for those days. But somehow, using the law of leverage, people within my network were still working. That end of the month, I got paid 42,000 shillings. Did I work? What did I do? It works for everybody. You must be able to put a dream inside your heart. It must be bigger than you. It must scare you. It must be big. Yesterday when I went to Mega, I told myself, and I booked one. Trust you me, I'm crazy enough. I booked one plot, wrote my name, gave the name to the office. They sent documents for me to sign. Ask me where the money is, I don't know. But I have known one thing. I put it here. Imagine it here. I told myself, I can get it, and I can get neighbor. This is where I am. Trust you me. Look for me 1 year from today. I will be living in Mega. Put your heart into it. Love God in all sense. He says, if a man does not work, then he should not do what? Eat. Eating is almost equivalent to work. That means work is equals to food. If you don't work, then you should not eat. That means the principle of work is universal and it is for everyone. The first of it all is this. You can work so hard all your life and never get the results. But you can work smart and change the way. Now let me come to the last, the mouth. What do you use? Many of us eat with our mouth. Let me tell you something. You are a direct result of everything that you put inside. If you eat food that is intoxicating, your body is intoxicated. If you eat food that is nutritious to yourself, your body is also nutritious. That means the mouth actually becomes the avenue for your health or for your illness. Either way, we must subscribe. Number two, whatever comes out of your mouth determines your thought. Now let me say something. While some of you will use your mouth for gossip, others will use it to make strategies. Others will use it to create ideas, share good words that can change the way. Can you use your mouth to become your wealth? Yes. I have found a company that I have aligned myself to. I have looked at all business models. Now I can say with certainty what works in this 21st century. The smartest way to work is network. The smartest way to work is network marketing. The best way to leverage is networking. Because by then, you are able to get the advantage of using other people's energies, resources, time, and even technologies to do this. I met someone in Kajiado, and these two kinds of people. One is a son of one. And the son is very good in IT. And that boy takes all the products, gives me all the documents, and I give him all the document and all the picture. And that boy doesn't do nothing much than sit behind the phone and propels and can reach 1,200 people in a day. Has too many orders that he is buying every day. He leverages on using technology to reach the world. While I was coming here, I got a bit delayed, and I told myself I can leverage on technology. And one person who had already arrived earlier than me, I told him, go on Facebook Live and put me on. And immediately I could be able to follow everything that was happening. What leverage are you using? Many of us use the gadgets that we have for entertainment, but where will it end you? You will not end up in the 3%. You might remain in the 97% forever. What am I saying in all these words? Leverage is the 21st century model of business that can transform our lives. We need to make money and make good money. When I came and job came, I have seen in this place, in my company where I stand for, I have seen one person. She's called Susan Onyancha. Go Google her. Find her on YouTube. You will find her everywhere.
She sits and every month makes 9 to 10 million every month. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Now, let me finish with a story my mother used to tell me and one Professor Wangari Maathai said. My mother used to look at me and I would be number 14 out of number 18. How many people had I defeated? 4. And he would ask me this question. Was there a number 1 in your class? And I would say yes. And he would ask me, kind questions, very kind questions. How many heads did they have? 1. How many eyes did they have? 2. How many ears did they have? 2. Were you in the same class? Yes. Let me ask you, if I got a beating for it, was I justified? I was. Because we were in the same class, yet I have different what? Results. Let me tell you something that will happen today. We were in the same talk today. And some of you, with 2 eyes and 1 head and 2 ears, will live the same way they came. And some will embrace the opportunity and grab it. 2 years down the line, the ones who embrace the opportunity will have different results. 2 years will still pass, even if you don't embrace it. And you might be in the same shoes. The system that we live in teaches us, go to school, get good grades, get good jobs. If you want to get higher pay, get more school and get more higher pay. If you want more higher pay, get back to school and get higher pay. In other words, learn to use your own brains forever. Let me give you the sad news. Your brains will not take you where you are up to now. If you have to propel yourself, you must use the law of leverage for the other's advantage. Now, in my team, I have 900 brains I can work with. I have 900 mouths that I can speak with. I have 900 feet that I can walk with. So as I put in 1 man hour, I am actually putting 900 man hours. So the best is network marketing. Anybody who thinks like me that network marketing is the 21st century model of business? Wow, I am glad I have followers. This is nice. Anyone who thinks that now they can be able to change the way they think, change the software of your mind, and change the way you do business. You may not understand everything. And trust you me, we have not scratched the tip of it. I can stand here up to curfew time and I will still be speaking because I have gone crazy about it. But after I have been crazy about it, I know that everything that I do changes people's lives as I change my own lifestyle. And there's no better moral than that one. And I would want to see anybody who would be willing to have this opportunity to work and can make a change in wherever you are. We can enroll you into our network. And when we enroll you into our network, we put you up to task, show you what you can do, show you the compositions of these products, show you how you can use them and how you can use leverage to reach other people. And that changes the way we do business. Personally, I'm excited about this business. When I came the first month, they paid me 484. I am still growing. I have not reached Job because Job is up above me. But in 1 year, Job has 3 cars. I have 1. Am I heading to where he's heading? I'm heading to his direction. Job earns $1 million. I am earning over 100,000 every month comfortably. Very soon, it will change for everybody. Now the Wangari Maathai story was, one sparrow saw the forest burning and it ran to the ocean and brought the water. If that sparrow was wise, what it should have done maybe was call other what? Sparrows. And hummingbirds, yes, you can use hummingbirds, you can use sparrow. All I know is that the big size was this small. And if they had called a whole fleet of them, and they would all have gone, maybe the water would have been significant. In essence, we cannot change the world alone. That's why we came here. To also tell you, if we joined together, we can start changing the world from our corner and brightening the corner where we are. Is that a good deal? Was it beneficial to you? Anybody who wants to use the law of leverage and wants to join a network that we can work with you, we can show you what there's tricks to it. I would be interested to see you stand. Anybody, just anybody. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. Wow, you guys are lovely. You guys are good. Man, Pastor Kigundu, with all due respect, would you allow me to take a photo with these people? Then I can go and brag with them. Then I can say I came to KU and I found people I can use leveraging to work together with. Would you allow me to do that? Then please, join me up front here. We take a photo together with you, and I would be glad after this to show you what are the tricks we can do that we can leverage on this together. Then I can hand over the program to this. Please come. This is where Carol becomes a good photographer, and she takes very good photos. Show you a model that can be able to translate into wealth. Show you a model that can also translate into health. So you will be enjoying a good health as you enjoy good wealth. There's nothing as bad as being healthy and not wealthy. But if you have both, then you have better advantage. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. God bless you.
Praise the Lord. Once again for Kim, a round of applause. Thank you very much, Kim. We didn't even realize that it is already an hour since Kim stood. Because the flow is seamless like a river. And I can only imagine, if you allow me, way back in high school or in college, probably no one said no to you. I'll leave it at that. Because of how you articulate your ideas, even the hardest of hearts would get convinced. And if you didn't stand here, it's because you already belong to this wonderful company. So thank you very much, Kim, again and again. We would like to take in a few questions, and then we can direct to any of the four speakers. If you have something for Pastor who talked on money, we direct it to him, or to Job, or to Kim, or to Dr. Rogers. I saw him step out. I'm sure he'll come back. Questions, kindly. And I know some of you wrote them down. This would be the time to share them with us. Either we understood extremely well, or or it was the reverse. So, questions? Anyone? You can use any language, including signs. I'll be glad to translate. Swali? Wakisi, if it is to Job, just say it. Yeah? ile mbarambara. Questions? It could be even as simple as how many kids do you have? Uh, and can be as complex as to which office have you knocked and got to be successful in this? It could have been a CS office. Yes, any. I'm trying to pick your minds on any question so that we may make this interactive as we finally come to a close. All right, I'll let you brainstorm without pressure. But right now, even as we think, I would like to make ready my matron that will be coming in a few minutes to give us a reflection of the whole day today, and also to give gratitude to the speakers and the organizers of this, and the attendees as well, the participants, and also to John, who is doing a wonderful work here. Yeah, our utility man. Yeah, so meanwhile, we are still picking questions. As Daktari comes, Daktari will come nearer to Pastor. Oh, Prof. Oh, I am extremely sorry. Yes, karibu sana. You can use this mic. All right, this people will speak. That is also an alternative. You could drag them down and bring them to our desk over here. Oh, I see that is better. So you can allow us to read, isn't it? There's a question directed to any of the speakers. Is there any amount needed to join the network of BF Suma? Who would you like to answer that question? Anyone or someone in specific? Kim, now that you're here, karibu. We will use 2 mics. Yes. There's another here. I'm sure it was sanitized.
Thank you for that question. I deliberately ignored that so that the interest would be aroused. But everything of value must have a value to it. For you to join BF Suma, it's very easy. Number one, we ask for a registration fee of 2,400 shillings. Why 2,400 shillings? We empower you with all the details that you need. Number one, literature. Number two, we give you a lot of samples that you can use. We also give you some kits that is all-encompassed to give you a start off. Secondly, you are able now to use that kit to reach out to other people. After that, we tell you you must activate a product worth approximately 2,000 and above. So for all fairness, we say for you to join BF Suma, you must invest 5,000 shillings into the investment of joining BF Suma. By that, what will you go home with? 2,400, the kit, the other 2,600, a product of your choice, meeting a particular need that you would want to do. For example, you have joint problems, you would want to start with joints, so I'll give you something for joints. You are a lady and you have hormonal imbalance, I can help you something for hormones. You are a man and you have a prostate, and you know that it is somehow starting to enlarge, then I can give you something for prostate to start you off. Why? We believe your testimony is the best to start selling. When people join, they will join because of your own experience even of using the products. Then it will reinforce your believability. So yes, 5,000 shillings, you have joined into the system, you are now active. This company has a cycle that goes between 9th and 8th of a month. Then on 15th, we have a day that we pay. On that day is when each distributor receives his money commensurate to the effort that you have put in. So after you have invested, the next 15th of the month, you are entitled to receive a bonus and you're already inside the system.
Right, thank you, Kim. There was something that Kim said we are Kenyan, so towards the end of Q&A, I know we'll have a number of questions. Even as we think, I have a very brief testimony, not a very good one though. When I was in year one, friend of mine took me to ICA building. I was new coming in from Homa Bay. Didn't even know town. All buildings were all the same for me, especially in the night. And then we were introduced to, at that time it was GNLD, and it was a process that we did. Tukaingia, tukafanya kazi kidogo, tukaenda strike. That was in 2008. Really, you were PP1, yeah? Grade 2. 208. You are in baby class. Yes? So we'll take you in class 7. While you were in class 7, you were striking here. I know, Prof, you remember this. And then we went home, back to the village. So I had, supplements to sell. So I didn't know how to do it, And then I would give to Wamam Pali Kijijini. We went to the market. I had my own store. But they would take, and then they would say, Nakuletea kesho. One tablet was 20 shillings that time. So kesho, they would not come. And so I ran at a huge loss until we opened and came back, and I took, there was a 5 liter. I went and sold. I got back a lot of money. And we proceeded until I got a girl. So when I got a girl, I got distracted from work. I had a new work to do. But I really wish to start again. I know I can do this, so I'll probably be talking to either Prof or Daktari or Kim. Yes, I was trying to make us comfortable to ask questions. You have something? You're smiling like you had something to ask. All right, so if you have, you just come and tell us. But then one thing I didn't get is how it works. If I needed to join in, I must have somebody who is already in the company under whom I'll join. Okay, and so I'll belong to an already established network. That's join activity.
Only one gift God gave me generously is the gift of speech. So I will use it until I die. So this is how you join. This company, when you join through as someone who introduces you into the business. When you join, the responsibility is very simple. It's for you to use the supplements yourself. Number 2, it's for you to recommend the supplement to somebody else. Who are some of the people you can recommend to? People who have conditions, right? You can know. People who have issues with life. Or number 3, people who are more health conscious and want to take care of their health. For example, we are in COVID times. People are being told to boost their what? Immunity. So you're asking yourself, so what do I do to boost my immunity? So you can give to people who are conscious about boosting their health and their immunity. Now, when you are introduced, now you belong to that network. Now, secondly, we ask you to do as a favor. Go get 5 people. Again, why are you getting 5 people? You're advantaging on leveraging. But the more you are, the better it will be. This network only allows you 5 people directly under yourself. Otherwise, if we allowed you 100, they would become your employees. And since we don't want them to become your employees, we give you a limit of 5. Once you put the 5, and I have 10, I will bring the other 5 and put them below the first 5. That means everybody gets a fair chance of growing. That means there is no selfishness. All my life, as much as I'm growing 967 people, I am growing them into 5 trees. That is the maximum I can do. And everybody who is below me is also growing a multiple of how many? 5. So you'll be growing those 5 trees for the rest of your life. Why? They can go as far as they can go. So the network is established. So we plug ourselves in and develop our network from ourselves going downwards. Is it important who is up above me? It is, because they give you support. But going downwards is your responsibility. That is where now your responsibility comes in. I want me to correct him a bit. Most of the things which are in network marketing teach you how to become, I'll not use a kind word, a hawker, to sell the products. That tells you
we give you a whole pack of products and tell you to go and sell. That is not good business. I should be able to teach you how to go and fish for people who can join together with you to go and sell more. So instead of teaching you how to sell, we will not give you a starter kit with 20 or 30 products, and then you're stranded with them. That's why we told you can start with one, with two products, which benefit you. Then we can teach you how to get people. That is the same principle of Jesus. When he called them, he told them, I will not send you to go and fish. I will send you to be fishers of what? When you bring men, you have more men to get who can help you work in this business.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Tim. Yes, there's a question. Would you like to come up too?
Okay, thank you very much. It's a brief. Yes. Are you in all the counties of Kenya?
Say again, thank you.
Are you well established in every county in this country?
Or is there a presence of BF Suma in the counties? Or, all right, we could take a couple of questions, maybe 2 or 3, and then we answer them together. Thank you, my brother, for the question. Any other? All right.
We are established in majorly all counties. The reason is, and we have opened sub-shops in every place. And we are out even growing new markets in where we have not reached. So we have even gone from the level of counties to even sub-counties. And also, this is the most amazing thing, even if you are to even sell from where you are, we have a network that you can even be able to distribute all over. Even from this one central source, you can be able to distribute all over. But for the convenience, if somebody is in any other county, they will feel our presence. Again, we are not only in Kenya. This company came in Kenya in 2010. Since 2010, we've been here for 10 years. After that, now we are still in other African countries. We are in 34 African countries. That means if you go to Tanzania, you will find us. If you go to Uganda, Nigeria, South Africa, we are in the presence of all those countries. That means it's not only in Africa, even in Asia, we have 17 within the transcontinents. So we can easily find them there. Being an American-based company, we have tentacles almost everywhere. So we are able to do a wider coverage. Let me give for the sake of safety. Every of BF Suma product is certified by KEBS, certified by Pharmacy and Poisons Board, certified by FDA. That tells you if our product is that well certified, it can find its reach to anywhere, including and up to hospitals and also in pharmaceuticals. So we have interacted to that kind of level. So you will find it in other pharmacies and wonder how is BF Suma doing here. You will find it in other hospitals. So it will still be there. So if you go to Aga Khan today, you will find them dispensing BF Suma in their envelopes, but still the same.
All right, thank you. We can still carry on with writing our questions. We'll present them to our table. But right now, allow me welcome our prof to come and give us reflections and even share our gratitude too.